You're listening to the Kpopcast. I'm your K-pop host, Stephanie, joined by my illustrious K-pop DJ co-host, Peter Lowe.
What is up, Stephanie? This is Peter, and today we're giving you a double shot episode of Daebak or Not IU Edition.
What?
We'll be reviewing her two brand new singles, Last Night Story and Sleepless Rainy Night.
Ooh, there's a lot going on at night, but...
Yeah, right?
I know, right? IU's all grown up now.
Oh.
But before we get to all that, let's do our hit replays. What's making you hit replay this week, Peter?
I'm not sure I'm pronouncing their names right, but it's Sick K, PH1, and J Park, of course.
Oh.
And his song Iffy. It's another groovy room body rock. I've got a strong bias for everything groovy room, I think, from what we've learned from these hit replays. Just listening to it, you don't need to understand what they're saying to like it. You know, it's got, I'm sure the raps are great, but I didn't pay attention to any of that stuff. I just love the depth of that deep bass. And some might say it's irritating, but I like that loop of that xylophone sample throughout and the overall chill vibes. So it's worth a listen. The music video itself is such a riot. I think J Park is, kind of the star right now, but he wasn't in it at all. In fact, for all the parts where he was singing, it was either J Park with a paper bag over his face or someone pretending to be J Park wearing a paper bag over their face. So that was pretty funny. And I'm sure there's a lot of sexual innuendo going on here with all these ladies and objects.
Obviously.
I'm not getting it, but I'm not sure you need to. For some reason or another, just watching it made me want to buy Iffy coffee at the end. But totally check it out. It's Iffy, produced by Groovy Room, featuring J Park, Sick K, and PH1.
Tonight we ain't got limit, baby. 내일 내가 살아있을지도 iffy. Yeah, iffy, yeah, yeah. Iffy, yeah. Iffy, yeah, yeah. Iffy, yeah. Iffy, yeah, yeah. Iffy, yeah. Iffy, yeah, yeah. Iffy.
So what's making you hit replay, Stephanie?
I'm a huge J Park fan, so I am right there with you with Iffy. I almost picked it myself, but in listening to our Daebak or Not hits this week, they kind of reminded me of this female vocalist that I've been really into lately, Kwon Jin-ah. She has become a huge star just over the past year or so because of her performances in now I'm forgetting the audition show. Do you know what I'm talking about? No worries, because I found out about her after the show, but then learned she has this really cool story. So yeah, Kwon Jin-ah, her most recent single is called Fly Away. She just has this lovely tone. She can switch between the airy, throaty vocals and doing something more soulful and strong and using the diaphragm. And she's just such an amazing performer, and I could listen to her voice all day. I also particularly love the duets she does with Sam Kim.
I'm gonna fly away, gonna fly away. 마음은 한결같았지, 날아갈 듯 같았지. I'll never cry again, yeah, I'll never cry again. 이제 훌훌 털어버리고.
So my hit replay is Kwon Jin-ah, Fly Away, because that goes right along in the playlist with these IU hits we've got.
Excellent. Nice one there, Stephanie. See what you did.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, let's dive right into IU's Sleepless Rainy Night.
Oh yeah.
It's me trying to be more Marvin Gaye, but
I love it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah, a little Barry White over here.
Yeah, Barry White. That's what I meant. Yes, Barry White.
Late night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
We should definitely do a whole episode like that.
Like baby making Barry White K-pop songs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think there's a huge demand. Just
okay.
from myself speaking personally. Anyways, let's get right into it, shall we?
Yeah.
So, I use Sleepless Rainy Night. What is happening in the video? You see, you have a lot of notes here.
Yeah, so before like you even watch the music video, you probably are painting a picture in your head, right? You're imagining an open mic night or like a jazzy, chill back alley jazz club, right? I think they meet that with what happens in this music video. It's designed to look like a live performance, you know, with the lighting and the hanging globes and the homey lights stringed together. A very specific aesthetic. And you even have IU sort of like sitting on a stool, fitting the look with her, you know, shades on the inside at night, wearing her beanie and sort of like slouched over, you know, singing. Yeah. Like they're going for that aesthetic, and that's all this is. It's just her singing like it's a live open mic night.
I totally think her outfit here is inspired by Where's Waldo. It's really cute. She's wearing, what is it, the red and white striped long sleeve. She has a red beanie on, and she has glasses on, and a scarf maybe? I don't know. Maybe I just made that last part up. But the whole look is so cute and very nostalgic. So it gives you the feel of an open mic night at a jazz club, and
or
you
a
also
coffee
get this.
shop.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me a little bit of the NPR Tiny Desk concerts.
Yeah,
that they have in like that library study room, and you just feel cozy. You know, it's apparent that we're moving away from summer and we're getting into the fall and winter and the holidays, and you just want to curl up with your hot cocoa and stuff and listen to IU. So
on a sleepless rainy night, one might say.
Yeah, everything just ties together here. I do want to call attention to the two little old school TVs that are set up near the front of the stage, and those little TVs actually feature images of two versions of IU that are singing in kind of a trio with the main IU on stage.
Oh, that's a nice point. Yeah, I hadn't even realized that.
It seems like they're three different people or characters all singing this song together, and they're all dressed differently. One is kind of dressed up in a black dress. One is in a kind of sporty 90s outfit. You all remember those bright colored puffy windbreakers?
Yeah.
He's wearing one of those with like dangly hoop earrings. I'm like, all right, okay. And then you have Waldo up on stage. So three very different aesthetics that are harmonizing together for this performance. I don't really know what to make of it, though, other than the TVs are super old. I remember having one like that in my room growing up, one where you put the VHS in. But what does it all mean?
I couldn't tell you.
Come on, this is your job, Peter.
No, I'm sure there's honestly, there probably is something there, but like, I think more than anything, it's just the feeling. Like, it checks all the boxes of what one would expect for an open mic night on a coffee shop. And there's like a lot of, I don't think this was deliberate, but like the irony of having a live aesthetic, even though this is a manicured, fully produced music video with more than modest production value. When I go to open mic night, like I expect to see like a Nord 2 electric piano, and it like they totally had that synthesizer right in this. Yeah. I thought it was really funny. There's a light in that cafe, and it calls itself what was it? The Acoustic Unplugged Cafe. It's like
come on.
It's just taking that coffee shop rainy day aesthetic to the extreme.
To the max, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a very intimate, laid back appeal where ambience is the most important thing, I think, in this music video. And maybe jumping ahead a little bit here, but even though this is like an ambient song, and this is an ambient backdrop where you're like drinking your coffee, or maybe you've got your like jazz club cocktail, it still commands your attention. It's, you know, subtle, it's light, it's delicate, and it's ambient, but you're still sitting there watching the live performer on stage. That's what I'm getting from this. For
this video, the visuals, the ambiance just flow right along with the audio. It goes together perfectly. Just like you were saying in the beginning, you can hear the song and pretty much on the dot visualize what the music video is going to be. Right. And be spot on.
Yeah.
So how do they do that?
I don't know. Maybe I've just been to like too many coffee shops and jazz clubs growing up and in college, and maybe that's just what I always imagine whenever I hear these sounds, you know, watching my friends perform on stage, or you know, setting that as my like really hip like hot date. You know, it's my cheap date. It's like you go there. It's like you buy like the $5 coffee, but it's still a way to do something that's really, you know, classy for your for your college date.
King of classy. That's Peter right here. Ladies, he's taken. Don't even think about it.
But for the music, like, it's so ambient. Like, I can't help but focus on IU throughout this entire thing. And like all the other back players, like, they are all setting a harmony or a stage or a backdrop for her. And I think they do it really well. I just love that deeper bass, how it fills out those like lower tones in the sound spectrum. That really did it for me, especially as I like cranked it up loudly on my home stereo. It's like that bass filled the room. And then you've got the more delicate sounds where like you got the guitar very lightly skirting around the edge, strumming with very offbeat, you know, supporting chords. And what really completes it, and again, I've already said this, but it's that Nord 2 synthesizer. Like,
I knew you would know exactly what the name of that is, because that was my favorite part of the song.
Yeah, it's like a really hip organ sound that goes with it.
I was like, it sounds like an organ, but I know it's a keyboard. Like, what is that exact? But you got it. Nord 2 synthesizer.
Well, it's a checklist, Stephanie. You know you're at an open mic night at a coffee shop if one of those are present. So...
yes, perfect. I also like how simple the percussion is. It's just like a little kick here and there, you know? It just sets the mood so well. It's stripped down. Nothing is extra. It's not overproduced. There's not too many instruments involved, too many voices involved. I really like how the tone of the keyboard notes just rings long after they're hit.
Oh, yeah.
And just like sets the stage for all of the other instruments to come after. But the keyboard note, the chords are just like hit and then they hold. Someone's holding the pedal down for a long time. And it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it rings. My wife pointed this out to me, but it sounds like we know that IU has quite a range, but she's staying in a very finite range here. And without going too much into the specifics, it sounds like she's especially breathy on this song. And I get that, like, a lot of like professional singers, they might critique singers who use that breathy sound, do it to sort of hide. It's a way of getting away without singing, you know, as much, and still, you know, coming off as like hitting those notes and being a professional singer. We know that IU is capable of doing a lot more, but I think that was a very deliberate choice.
Yeah, I would even say, I mean, I'm not a professional singer or anything, but I would say keeping an even tone while you're doing breathy, whispery, high notes is incredibly difficult. And I think, like, technically that IU could keep that going, keep that same clear tone with just using her breathy throat voice and hit all the notes. And I think it is technically impressive, although not as desirable to all audiences to hear.
Yeah. Well, it depends, I think, who you are.
Yeah.
So 1 to 5, Stephanie, how would you rate this ambient, Sleepless Rainy Night from IU for the concept? 1 to 5.
The concept just hit it out of the park for me. There's not too much going on of anything, and I love it. I watched the whole thing, and you said that IU kept your attention. I was looking back at that keyboard and the drummer. They were just so cute, looking at their little moves and how they're getting into it. I was like, yes, I was really getting into the instrumentation and the band. We so rarely see a band in a K-pop music video, so I was savoring that. I'm going to give it a 3.6.
Yeah,
pretty high.
That's great. And I just love how, like, the chords are like completely haphazardly like laid out over the floor. It's like I'm going to sit down at like a coffee shop table and just enjoy my drink and watch them. That's the experience I'm getting. It's like having that live experience, except in my living room, watching IU. One thing I just want to say, though, on this concept, and this is what completely sold it for me, like this one thing alone, it's the glasses of the guitarist. If you miss it, like, guys, you got to go watch it. It's like worth watching for that dude's glasses alone. The guitarist has guitar glasses, guitar shades. Like, what more do you want in a K-pop
They're like really
music
tasteful. They're not like lame. They're
Some might say it is
as cool
incredibly
as can
lame.
be.
But see,
But-
it's gotten... But that's the thing, Stephanie. It's gotten so lame, it's cool.
Okay, all right.
It's
All right, I'll take
sparkly.
that.
It's sparkly guitar shades.
I'll take that.
Like,
yeah.
what more can you ask? Like that.
I know.
This is
I
the
think
reason
they
why I get
all
into
have on
K-pop.
glasses. They're all wearing shades inside.
Well,
I think so.
You can't be at an open mic night, Stephanie, unless you've got shades on the inside at night. And this
guess
guitarist's guitar shades are what sealed the deal. So
Nice.
I'm surprised I'm giving the concept higher than you, Stephanie, but I'm giving this a 3.9. So it's really,
Wow.
really good. It's not that there needs to be deeper
Woo.
message with these TVs and whatnot. Like, it delivered that mood for me.
Whatever. It just matched. Great. All right. Audio. For me, I like it. I'm going to put this in my rotation, especially you heard me talk about the instrumentation, the musicality, not even for her voice, but for just the soul of the whole song, the whole package. I'm going to give this 3.5.
I'm giving it a 3. I thought it was good. Certainly the song conveyed that message, and I thought it was a fun song to play, but it's not something that's an exception or stands out in it of itself. You know, even for K-pop, it's not exactly jazz, but that jazzier R&B.
Yeah, it's kind of the Urban Zacapa feel.
Oh, there you
I don't know
go.
If you remember them? Yeah.
Overall, would you say that this song, Sleepless Rainy Night, is
Daebak or not? It is Daebak for me.
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, it's definitely Daebak. It delivers. We've heard these more stripped down songs, these unplugged acoustic cafe songs, if you will, from IU before. And not that this had to be different, but in the overarching scheme of K-pop, this is fun and it's refreshing. I like it.
And it's not tropical house. Yes.
And it's not tropical house. Although, you know, I want to say that I'm being a major hypocrite here, but like, tropical house is kind of growing on me.
Oh, now it is?
Yeah.
After everyone and their mama has done a tropical house song.
And there's more stuff coming out,
Oh, God.
oddly. So
I know.
it's like, oh, this is a tropical house song. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So
I'm so over it.
I'm not sure it has staying power though.
Yeah.
Let's move on to IU's second single, Last Night's Story.
Yes.
괴로워하던 나의 모습을 왜 못 보았니 어젯밤 파티는 너무도 외로웠지 이 세상을 다 준대도 바꿀 수가 없는 난데 너는 그걸 왜 모르니
So what happens in this music video, Stephanie?
Well, this one is slightly different from the coffee shop jazz club, basically
Yeah.
single, like acoustic stripped down. This one, she's doing a lot more. She's getting up, she's dancing, she's moving. Basically, we're going along with that same retro motif. We have that square resolution again. There's a kind of reddish yellow tint over the whole screen. Where we're back in the, would you say 90s, 80s?
No. It's like late 60s, early
60s,
70s.
70s. I don't know. It's just
when
old.
that orange aesthetic.
Oh, the
was, like,
orange,
really
yeah,
pop.
70s. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, totally 70s. Dressed like Audrey Hepburn, I think.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's exactly how I described it here in my notes. I wrote, she is super Audrey Hepburning.
Yes, make
So,
it happen,
yes,
Peter.
definitely.
Audrey Hepburning. So much.
It's like breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes,
you know?
that's the outfit.
Yeah.
She's got on the little black dress and the long gloves and some lipstick, and she's just looking pretty and classy, which is maybe a little bit too much for what the setting is and what the story is. So what's going on here is IU is going out dancing with her friends to a party, and the boy... with the boy she likes as well, but the boy is not paying attention to her. He's dancing with her friends. Yeah, everything is really exaggerated. So he's like dancing on her friend's shoulders, and she's pouting on near the wall with a red Solo cup, and it's hilarious. It's just like over the top. So she's just pouting all over the place and declaring, last night was when I started disliking you. I started hating you. Yeah, she's just pouting everywhere. And as the music video goes on, she becomes, I guess, less put together. Her makeup and hair gets messed up. She starts stuffing her face with cheese puffs, and she's throwing stuff around, and she's in the bathtub. And, we've all been there, right, Peter? Right?
Yeah, when my boyfriend totally starts dancing with my friends instead of with me.
I know, right?
All the time. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get hella jealous. And people who don't know me is like, what?
What? Oh.
I just want to add a tally to yet another K-pop music video, which has cheese puffs in it. Like, how many K-pop music videos have cheese puffs?
I don't know.
Like, every one, I feel like.
Really?
You look for it, and, like, you can't unsee it. Like, it's.
Now I'm going to start looking for it.
It's everywhere, Stephanie. It's like an epidemic. They're taking over. Cheese puffs and K-pop.
Cheese puffs must be flying off the shelves then. It's product placement if it's everywhere.
I mean, realistically, it's probably just like a cheap prop that's colorful and an interesting shape and adds a lot of like really cool texture and color to music videos. That's probably the real reason, but it's just everywhere, man.
Sounds like you do PR for the Cheese Puff Company, Peter. If you just stick this jar in your video, it's just a really fun shape. And they're like, are you sure? Yeah.
I'm totally pitching that to all my. Anyway.
So yes, 70s. There's a disco ball. There's TV dinners. Totally 70s.
Yeah, and they had the words disco written above the disco ball. So
just like they had Unplugged Acoustic Cafe.
Yeah, in case it wasn't obvious.
Right. Exactly. And I just want to call out the video resolution, how it's more square, like in the old-timey TV. There's been a bunch of videos that came out this summer that have that. I don't know how long this trend has been going on, but I definitely noticed this summer. JJ Project did that. I think BAP did it. Hyuna, did she do that too?
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I guess did they all coordinate? Did they all?
I think everyone's just trying to cash in on nostalgia,
I know.
And they're trying to like, what is vintage is cool, And I think that's probably what they're all going for here.
You're right.
I did think it was really interesting, and I'm not sure if this says anything about the message, but you see IU being sad and stoic and looking at the TV, and then she like sees this commercial for headphones, so she can get headphones or whatever. But she also sees herself in the TV. And once she starts dancing in the TV, she's really happy. She's like a younger self. She's super animated. And then she starts mirroring that in real life. But with all the really sad, like, undone hair and makeup. And it's like, they're probably trying to say something. I'm not sure what. I mean, maybe it's like a contrast of like FOMO, wanting something and feeling left out, or actually doing it and not really being happy, or maybe it's something more specifically to the lyrics that you pointed out earlier about just not getting the attention that you want despite doing it, or trying to put on a face for someone. Anyway, that's overanalyzing it, but I thought that was just a really interesting note, especially how the way they edit it, because there are scenes where you see her doing that same dance and they cut straight to the TV.
Yeah.
Where it's sad, then happy, and then sad again.
Right. I couldn't really keep track of all the switches. I couldn't keep track of which IU I'm watching.
I don't know. That contrast was just really strong to me. But what it taught me is that I need a pair of backup dancers who always, wear that, like
was it
Blues
Men in Black
Brothers.
or something?
Oh, I was going to say Blues Brothers, but Men in Black also works. Yeah. Wearing shades and then doing the dance. And I feel like it's almost like out of like a Quentin Tarantino movie, where the way she's dancing, and maybe it was just that late 60s, early 70s vibe where people sort of like dance that way sometimes, where you're trying to like chill out, man, and like you're grooving to the dance, but you don't always show it in your face. And I'm sure that was more specifically to that feeling of, your boyfriend doesn't, or your crush isn't paying attention to you when he's dancing with your friends and you're dancing alone, harping on that tragedy. But when I go dancing at a party,
tragedy, totally.
Yes. Well, it is for IU anyway. But like when I go to parties, like honestly, I kind of want to dance that way. Like I kind of want to keep that stoic face going while I do that really fly, like, you know, really fun late 60s sort of dance. So I thought it was pretty cool.
That's cute. That reminds me of an episode we did a long time ago talking about Psy's music video and how Naeun was doing the stupid dance moves, but her face was so serious.
Yeah.
And we couldn't keep our eyes off it. Yeah. So that kind of theme, it just makes you laugh even more and makes you have even more fun because you're like, how can she keep a straight face doing these silly moves? Who knows?
Yeah. Although I want to say like that straight face from IU, like that probably had a darker meaning here.
Ooh.
You know, I think it's trying to harp on that feeling of feeling left out.
Yeah,
crush.
yeah.
So I think, you know, you're meant to feel just a little uncomfortable with her uncomfort in this music video. And even though this is a happy song, at least judging from how it sounds, it almost sounds like a sort of eerily happy song. And I get that from her face. Like it's a stark contrast from everything. And maybe that's why they have that TV to show that, look, guys, she's actually not happy. Because look how happy she could be, and she's not.
True.
So in some ways, it's funny because when I was in ballroom dancing, and this is a common like critique, not just from my coach, not just from my dance partner, but like everyone I danced with whenever I went social dancing, they all said like, I always had like a very serious face because I wouldn't smile, you know.
I can see that.
And it's not because I wasn't just I was trying to be cool or just like disinterested. It was just because I was so focused on trying to get my technique right that I wasn't I was forgetting about my face. And it actually ended up like to me like having a reputation in the dance community for being like overly cold.
Ooh, in the dance community reputation. Yeah. Okay, all right.
If you're in ballroom and swing and all these other things, but like in this, she's making the very deliberate effort not to smile, and on the TV it shows you where you're supposed to smile. So it's not for lack of skill; it's for a very unsettling message.
Yeah, let's talk more about the choreo, the dancing. So she's obviously doing a lot of silly moves. She's throwing her arms around. She's kicking her legs around in a almost kiddie way or like teenage letting loose kind of way. I don't even know how to categorize these moves. And is it just me or did I see her do a Beyonce single ladies move where she's bending over and like pumping her arms down towards the ground? I was like, wait a minute, that might fit because she's clearly like single and not getting attention from this boy.
Yeah, well, I think it's just, honestly, I think it's just following the very cheesy 60 dance moves that we were getting around that time. I mean, like these were like the sort of like party moves that everyone sort of learned, and it was just a way to dance. And I mean, as I see in your notes here, like when she was unhappy, you see that on her face, and it almost makes it seem like she's not trying to dance, even though she's nailing a lot of those gestures perfectly. And then you contrast with that with her TV version, and it adds so much more, even though she's doing the movements right, just completing it with her face, and it looks more like there's more of an effort there. I think it's funny because like in the real life version, like torn up hair, worn out makeup, like her backup Blues Brothers Men in Black dudes, like they're happy both in the TV and in real life. So I don't know.
Yeah, I need to watch the live version and see how the choreo plays out there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the audio.
I like the like surf wax, like funky guitars in this, and I love the harmonizing in IU's voice. You know, at different points of this, especially like, you know, in the bridge and in the pre-chorus and the chorus. Like this is probably in my top 10 of all favorite songs of K-pop for 2017. Like I really, really, really like this song. Like ignoring the music video, ignoring that it came from IU, it's just my style. Like this would have been my hit replay if we weren't making it a Daebak or not.
It would, yeah. Maybe
it's like everything orange, and maybe it's this softer, you know, breathy singing that we're getting from IU, but it reminds me of the dream pop Japanese American duo Asobi Sexu. They're worth a listen, and a lot of their dream pop songs are a bit slower than this one, but this one, I mean, just in terms of the style and theme, it just seemed very similar. And overall, the song makes me feel like you're artificially happy, and the lyrics seem to corroborate that. That all said, I'm going to play this during happy times because it is my jam, just like I use Jam Jam, another great song of hers. So
I see what you did there. And who cares if you're not really listening to the lyrics, then who cares, you know? Play it during happy times. No one can judge you. For me, the audio, it's honestly like not my style at all. Like whenever I kind of anticipate that IU is going to come out with at least like 3 or 4 songs per album that have this feel to it, and I just skip. Honestly, it's not my taste at all.
Crushing my heart.
Well, that's why you're here, right?
Okay.
There's something for everyone, as we know.
Yeah.
So not that great for me, and not like anything special or out of the ordinary. I come to expect this from her. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the scores. What did you think of the concept, Peter?
I thought it was good. I love how orange everything is. I mean, even down to like the orange toilet paper, and she's got like the biggest bathroom ever. Like
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I mean, not that I watch K-pop music videos looking at people's toilet paper or bathrooms, but
clearly
there was just something about that dancing and that juxtaposition between her TV self and her real life self. I don't know. It just really stood with me. It had me shook.
Oh my God, you did not just say that.
Is that what the kids say nowadays?
We are not
shook?
of the shook generation, Peter.
Okay, this is me weird. Trying to be.
Maybe Matt can say it. Matt can say that.
Okay.
When he's sorry, I don't mean to police
Our under
here.
30 listener can say it, but over 30 listeners cannot say it.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know. It resonated with me, so I'm giving it a 3.5 for the concept.
Nice. Yeah, I like the concept too. It was funny. There's clearly a story there, and there's thought going into it, and the visuals are funny. I was chuckling to myself a few times. I'm going to give this 3.4.
Audio, 1 to 5.
Audio for me, just not a fan, like, at all. But I guess it's a good song, so I'll give it like 3.1.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm like not going to listen to it ever again.
Okay, so I want to bring up a previous comment that one of our listeners left. Ricky Woodson, a while ago, he said, directly to you, Stephanie, that like, he said, "Sister, if you don't like a song, say it like you mean it." And he said, just give it a 1 or a 0 if you don't like it. So I will bring that up again and ask you again, Stephanie.
Damn.
Is this song really a 3.1 in your book?
God, just call me out like that. I mean, I didn't want to. Gosh, I'm just trying to fit into the norms established for the show. You guys always give between 3 and 4, so I was like, oh, okay, that's the actual range.
We've given less than 3
What?
4.
Really? What? Like 1% of the time? All right. Okay, so if I'm gonna like bust up the norms of the show, I'm gonna drop this to 2. There you go.
Okay, there you go. I've given 2s before, Stephanie.
Really?
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
I don't know, man. All right.
But that said,
what about you?
This song is really grooving with me. Like I said, it's my jam, just like I use jam.
Jam.
Yeah, like I use jam. So like I have to give this song a 4.5.
What?
Yeah. It's totally my style. I put it in like the same playlist with Cheese, like Cheeze. Like I love that artist. I think that song and this song are very commensurable. Like they go well together, and like this isn't typical K-pop, but it's great K-pop. And maybe I just have like a really soft, sore bias for like late 60s sounds. Like
I think you do.
I think even before I got into K-pop, like I was really into like Stan Getz and all that sort of stuff. So maybe that's why I really like it.
I think that's probably why I don't like it. That whole era is like a black hole to me. I just skipped over it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, one of these days, Stephanie, like you and I, we're going to walk through all like the late like 60s jazz classics. I will introduce you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that, Peter.
Okay.
I'll learn
there you go.
new.
Okay. We'll go through it.
Yes.
Yeah. So overall, is this song
Daebak or not?
Stephanie.
Not.
Oh man, like like
Thanks,
how,
Ricky.
Yeah.
Thanks for empowering me to speak my mind.
Yeah. See. Okay. Just a caveat there for like all the like IU like stans who are now gonna like hate Stephanie. Like our listeners told Stephanie to like be really gregarious and like be resolute and not liking stuff. So that's why we're doing it. But
I don't care.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I respect her, and she's so talented, and I really liked her other song, so give me a break, dude.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. IU's got other great stuff.
Exactly.
According to Stephanie. But I really love this song. It's funny when you said not, like, you know how like sometimes you'll watch someone like get into like an accident or like they'll face plant, like, or they'll trip and fall, and like when they get hurt, you feel like you're hurt, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know that feeling?
Yes.
That's what I felt when you said not. Like someone was like impaling me like through the heart when you said not, because I love this song that much, Stephanie, that I almost took it personally.
Wow. I'm sorry. I didn't. That was not my intent. Oh, Peter.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You got to give that contrary opinion for diversity of this episode. But absolutely, Daebak, 100% Daebak. For this song, so I love it.
How about some concluding thoughts? What do we think about this as the comeback choice? You know, the genre choice, the feel of it. Is it different from the last album? How are you feeling, Peter?
It is stylistically different, definitely, than our
Yeah?
last album. And our last album was good, but it felt a little more electronically produced. This one seemed acoustic unplugged cafe.
Yeah.
It was 60s disco. It was a story from last night. It was a sleepless rainy night. Knock it off, Peter.
All right, now. Knock it out.
So I think it made sense for it to be a separate album, honestly, because even though in terms of the skill set needed to produce the songs for her two albums that we've heard from her this year are very similar, the styles and categories, I put them separately. Mm-hmm. So I think it's better to put them in two separate buckets to help them each shine alone. So I thought it was an okay comeback. I don't think it's, without being privy to the numbers, I don't think it's getting a very strong critical reception from the K-pop stans. Not that it needs to. I think this is, IU becoming a more mature senior K-pop artist, and maybe she's speaking more to us veteran K-pop listeners, at least to me. Maybe not you, Stephanie, but more. But she's speaking to me with these latest two songs.
I agree. I think that this album is still within the sphere that we expect from IU. I'm not super shocked or surprised that she came out with this theme.
Yeah, I would still agree with you on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's within her range. She's not really, I wouldn't even say experimenting or taking risks with this album. She's just like, I'll try out this other style a little bit. Mainly the visuals are different. The songs itself, she's done stuff like this before. But she is maturing as an artist, and you could tell she's having fun with it, and that's all we can ask. So, yeah, good choice.
Should we go on to listener feedback?
Yeah, what we got?
Marvin left a comment on our SoundCloud saying that I'm not even an ARMY, but Jimin always gets me on his solos. The lyrics, arrangement, and visuals are just perfection. I hope he eventually dances to this on stage. Yeah, and that was in reference to Serendipity.
Serendipity.
I don't know if it's a real dancing song. It was a cool message, but I don't know if it's a dancing song. But Marvin is a musician and composer, so those are some high marks and praise from Marvin. Commenting on our BTS DNA episode, user Winter Chestnuts on Reddit wrote, "Theories. And I wasn't sure what to make of that. I wasn't sure if that was a complaint at first, and I said, I'm sorry that we did too much theory crafting. And then this Winter Chestnuts commented back saying, don't apologize. I was just jung shook. So
I really like DNA, by the way. I've been continuing to watch it over the past week.
Yeah.
I mean, one part of me just likes to watch the view count go up and see it break all the records.
That's right. Yeah.
My babies. And then the choreo is just, it's so great. And V is so hot. Oh, it's my favorite. My new
Is that
bias.
why you
It's
enjoy?
my new bias.
Okay, so wrapping things up, don't forget, guys, you can still claim the Dab It Up and Down CD. Just give us a tweet at the Kpopcast, and we'll swing it your way. So don't forget to claim it. It's there. No one has asked for this Up and Down CD
What?
from Dab It.
Y'all better tweet us, or I'm gonna take that CD.
Next week, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Maybe Day 6 or Changmin's single on SM Station or
Ooh.
whatever you want to tweet at us, guys. So give us a tweet and let us know what you should cover. Okay, so signing out, there have been a lot of K-pop songs with the title of You and I, or I and You. So name your favorite K-pop song, Stephanie, that has that title, or a combination or a permutation of that title, and where can people find you online?
So my favorite is the super solo hit single from Park Bom, released in
Oh, yes.
2009, called You and
throwback.
I.
Yes.
2009, the golden age of K-pop.
You know, DJ Amaya has a really awesome remix of that song.
Really?
If you're into trance music, I recommend that remix super highly of that song, so check it out.
I will check it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it may be, I'm just being cliche here, but my favorite You and I, or I and You song is I Use You and I.
Grown.
Yeah, well, I just love how she, like, I always hate it when, like, K-pop songs, like, go up a half step after the bridge. But in this case, I thought she did it
always
really
does
well.
that. How can you
In
still
that
like
case,
IU?
I thought it was very tasteful and well done, so that's my favorite. And you can
Right.
find me at DJ Peterlo.
And you can find me at sparker2 on Twitter.
And don't forget to give us a tweet at the Kpopcast. We'll catch you guys all next week.
Good night.
어젯밤 파티는 너무도 외로웠지 이 세상을 다닌데도 바꿀